Now
on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
6:37 this Tuesday morning. Thanks for tuning in here to O'Connor and Company. Coming up, we got, we're busy. It's a busy day. And every day's busy. Coming up at 7:05, Dr. Kevin Roberts of Heritage Foundation. I should just stop saying we're busy, Julie, because this is great. We love it. I'm not complaining. But Trump is absolutely... Did you know that they called a lid last night? They called a lid last night at the White House at like 11:50 in the evening. That's when the president's workday was done last night. Oh, man,
the media is so
7:05,
sad.
Kevin Roberts, Heritage Foundation. 8:05, Michael Walsh. And 8:35, Julie Kelly. Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock. Julie.
Good morning.
You're a Virginian.
I am.
I'm a Marylander. But did you know that Maryland is so good at taxing people that they're trying to figure out how to tax Virginians now?
So my dollars go straight to Maryland.
That's how good Democrats are. Everyone's saying, oh, this Wes Moore is such a gifted politician. Yeah, that's how gifted he is. So, we're out of Marylanders' money. Let's go get some of those Virginians' money. We've got that and a lot of other things to talk about with Mark Fisher. He's a Maryland State Delegate and also a member of the Maryland Freedom Caucus. Delegate Fisher, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
So what's this whole thing about taxing part-time residents, or what they're calling part-time residents, and how they define a part-time resident? What's that look like?
Yeah, so the Democrats are running out of other people's money in Maryland, so they figure, why not tax Virginians? If you spend up to 90 days in Maryland or more, then they want to tax you and say, well, you're actually a Maryland resident, which of course is silly, naturally, because so many people have residences elsewhere. They might actually work in Maryland for a period of time, or they're visiting family, for example. So now they want to tax those people.
It's sort of a long-held thing where if you live in a place for 50% plus 1 days out of the year, then you're a resident of that state. This happens in Florida all the time, where people come down there, they live for some time, but their permanent residence is elsewhere, or vice versa. I'm sure that there are a lot of Virginians who have, a place up on Chesapeake Bay, let's say, or they vacation in Maryland, or what have you. This is rather unprecedented, isn't it? This is an income tax on people who only live here 90 days?
It is. It's obviously a huge dollar grab by the Democrats. I believe it's Delegate Laura Charkoudian from Tacoma Park, shocker, that put this bill in.
But all it's going to do is make people sell their vacation places and go elsewhere. Do they think that the people who live in Maryland for 90 days don't have other options? They'll go to Delaware. They'll go somewhere
North Carolina.
else.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly right. Of course, remember when O'Malley was here, they had the millionaires tax and then millionaires left. Now that they're running out of other people's money, Governor Moore has the half millionaires tax because there aren't enough millionaires. So you can see where all of this is going. They're literally running out of other people's money, and they're running out of things to tax. And that's actually not even like a joke. It's almost hard to believe. It's when you're sitting up here, your hair turns gray in real time because you just can't believe how stupid these people are.
So tell me also, speaking of millionaires and taxing, or rather driving rich people out of the state, there's a claim that they're eliminating the inheritance tax, but that's not right, is it? I'm reading here that they're lowering the estate tax exemption from $5 million to $2 million. So it's going to capture more people, but people who aren't as wealthy. Is that right?
That's exactly right. So whenever you see an elimination of a tax in Maryland, you can always assume that there's a catch, that the true goal is to actually raise more, as they call it, revenue, which of course is really tax. I mean, here's a great example. In the income tax tables, they have, if you make from $1 to $1,000, you're currently paying 2% income tax. So in other words, you're making $1,000 a year and you're paying a 2% income tax. Currently, their proposal in Annapolis is to raise that to 4.7%. So you see who they're taxing, right? Yes, they're taxing half millionaires. They are increasing the tax on those individuals, but they're also taxing the people that hardly make any money at all, and they're more than doubling their tax.
So they're eliminating. They claim, and I can see Westmore's campaign for president. I eliminated the inheritance tax in Maryland. That's why he's doing it. But there's also an estate tax, and they've lowered the tax exemption for the estate tax so that only Democrats can come up with a way of eliminating a tax, but then
Adding
actually figuring out a way
Yeah.
to raise more money through taxes by eliminating that tax, and that's what.
Yeah,
they're
and then
doing.
you move, Larry, to try to get away from this inheritance tax and the money that you're trying to pass on to the next generation. They're like, well, you lived here for 90 days, so therefore you still got to pay it.
So, Delegate, really quickly on this, how is the media reporting that? Are they letting this sort of, because it is kind of, it's tricky. You could here they are saying they're eliminating the inheritance tax. Are you seeing fair coverage of this?
Terrible coverage. It's been terrible coverage. The good news is the Baltimore Sun is doing a better job, I think. It's still not a great job, to be frank with you, but they're doing a better job. The bad news is that in the Washington suburbs, there are very few media outlets, and I'm hoping there will be more, but there are very few media outlets that are actually covering what is happening. And they're letting the Governor Moore, get away with saying all of these, really clever things. When the man speaks, he really says nothing. I'm sure you guys just go on Twitter. I ask all of your listeners, just go and
it's all
read
bromides. It's very Obama-esque, honestly,
yeah.
in every possible. Actually, it's more Kamala-esque,
Yeah,
to tell you the truth.
yeah.
But yes, I know.
He really is. He really is. So I wish there was more coverage of what they're trying to do in terms of the taxation. I'm happy to go some of these with you. It's just kind of remarkable. You guys have already heard about the vehicle emissions tax doubling from $14 to $30, actually more than doubling, and the 75-cent delivery fee for Amazon packages. This one is particularly funny, right? Because Amazon's big thing is we're not going to charge you a delivery fee, but the state is. The state wants a 75% delivery.
Yeah, you get free delivery with Amazon Prime, but Maryland's going to go ahead and charge you for it as well, and they're going to roll them all out. And thankfully, we've got you and other people in the Freedom Caucus there to at least warn us about it. Sadly, they have such a super majority; they're probably going to get whatever they want, and it's all to build up Westmore for his presidential run. Mark Fisher, don't be a stranger. Come on in and keep us updated on what they're doing. But,
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, thanks.
You bet. Thank you.
Bye.
Unbelievable. It's 6:44. If you